Original post isn't mine. I got that from the worst driver. However, that's how fast life can change. That's how fast a situation can shift. Using that as a parable like manner, is the guy he was unsuspecting. All of a sudden, somebody came up, hit him, disrupted his way of life. In the same way, the enemy, he seeks to do that with us. Speaking of human beings in general, and Christians, listen, you could be minding your own business and the enemy, next thing you know, boom, he hits you. Just like happened in Job chapter 1 and chapter 2 and in the rest of the book of Job. And you want to know something? If something like this happens to a Christian where the enemy automatically does something so traumatic in your life that catches you off guard, it could not happen without one, you giving it legal right, but two, which trumps one, if God, because he does it for both, gave him permission to do it. And whenever God gives permission to do it, it's typically to test you, unless you're disobedient, and then God uses Satan to chastise you. And yes, that's biblical. Paul talked about that. Satan is used by God as a belt of chastisement on disobedient believers and just people disobedient in general. Here's the thing to understand about that. When you go to Job 1 and 2, you'll notice that Satan never asked for Job. Go read it. Satan never asked for Job. God introduced Job to Satan. In fact, God was bragging on Job to Satan. You see this pattern even when Yeshua was here on the earth. The Father was bragging on Jesus, Yeshua. He said, "This is my son whom I'm well pleased." The very next chapter, you see the Holy Spirit leading Jesus into the wilderness to be tested and tempted of the devil. Many times when God brags on us and he's about to promote us, he allows the enemy to attack us and he introduces us to the enemy. It's almost like a coming out party. Like, look, you're not going to be able to get him and keep him. So if you're going through hard times or something may have hit you out of nowhere and you're asking God why and you're faithful, there's a chance God bragged on you. So take heart in that. If you like content as such, you can follow for more as always. Deadline's less than 2 weeks away. In this month's class, we're doing a teaching on why God created sex. Practical tips for honoring God and thriving while abstaining from sex in your single years. How to truly grow spiritually and strengthen your walk with God during your seasons of singleness. Explore how marriage is a divine reflection of the unity within the Godhead, Christ and his bride, and how it reflects God's ultimate design, as well as discovering God's plan for intimacy in a marriage, unlocking the deeper truths of God's purpose for sex, marriage, and worship in alignment with his word, including a deep dive into the Song of Solomon and also the importance of forgiveness and a lot more. To sign up and be added to the email list, click the link in my bio or story. From TikTok, the link's in my bio. And from YouTube, the link's in my bio. It's pre-recorded so you can watch at your convenience.